All right, what's going on, guys? I am here with Mr. Daniel Integrity. Daniel Integrity Painting, baby. That's what it's all about. He's also running the Integrity Painting podcast. So today we are going to talk about how Daniel took his business from 1.7 million to 4.2 in 1 year, purely off networking, word of mouth, and everything else in between. So Daniel, dude, super excited to have you here, man. I've heard amazing things about you.
Thanks.
Yeah, awesome, dude. So what would you say is kind of like the biggest factor as to, why you decided to start building all this network? Like what really kind of got you so ingrained in building network, and where did you kind of find that importance? Because you said you've been in business for about 12 years, and it's only recently you kind of made that transition to focusing solely on relationships, or not solely, but having a heavy focus on relationships. And that allowed you to kind of 2.5x your business in a year.
Yeah, so we've always been focused on building relationships with people. It's just been like recently that we have really we've been able to hire people that can help us build more relationships. So I think I was just so limited in my time. We had a project manager, but we didn't have a sales guy. I was doing a lot of the office work still. I was doing all the estimates, office work, and then I was running like 3 or 4 jobs too to help our project manager, because he was doing like 10, 12 jobs a week by himself. And it was just like, I was always out there trying to help him out. So once we hired a coach, Eric Barstow, once we hired him, we noticed, and after going to the PCA, we noticed that we were missing a lot of people on our team, and that if we hired some people to help us help us with some things that I was spending too much time on, that it would be able to free up some more time so that I could spend more time building relationships and building our company. So it was nice because I was able to hire an office lady, Ashley, and she actually was from Sherwin-Williams. She worked there for 10 years. And so when I found out she was available, we tracked her down. We seen her at the dentist's office one day, and we're like, hey, we need you. When can you start? And she's like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, I know you're so good at Sherwin, and you have really good communication and people skills, and we know you're really smart. We want you to be our office person. And she was like, okay, cool, I can do that. And so we hired her that next week, and just having her around's been awesome. She just really runs the office really nicely and keeps me freed up. And so with billing, and man, we were having such a hard time with billing, me trying to do it all myself.
Yeah, for sure.
So once we freed up a lot of different things, and then I met this guy, Josh, at church one day. He just kept coming up to me and shaking my hand. He's like, hey, bro, how's it going? I was like, this guy's really friendly, really trustworthy. I was like, we need to hire him for an estimator. And so now he's able to go around and do all of our estimates, and he does 6 or 7 a day. And people love him. When I first met him, I was like, man, this guy's the coolest guy in the world. When I met you, I was like, man, this guy's cool. So.
I love that, dude. Yeah. So Daniel and I met at was it the Benjamin Moore one at the expo? It was Benjamin.
Yeah, the cigars,
night, right? Yeah, the cigar. Yeah, the tacos and cigars, and then the opera electric music.
Yeah, what the heck was that? That was the coolest song I ever heard. It was techno opera, and I was like, what is going on around here?
Interesting, very interesting pick. But yeah, that was an awesome time, man. So you enjoyed the expo?
Yeah, I loved it, man. I took our project manager. He's actually moving up to general manager right now, where he's kind of overseeing everything. And then he's training 2 project managers. The last year he's been training one, and now they're training another one.
Oh, wow.
We're trying to free him up so that he can do more connecting with builders and stuff also.
Yeah, put him focusing on the relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. So he's in charge of 2 mini PMs, and those PMs are in charge of their crews. So it's kind of like a tree.
Yes,
that's solid.
Exactly.
That's solid. And how many crews are each like mini production manager? How much are they like in charge of?
So.
Oh, are you there? Yeah, I think I lost you there.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Sorry about that.
So, yeah, I think, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so each PM's in charge of about 10 jobs. And then Ryan helps them and oversees kind of everything. And then also he also is in the office and oversees like billing and extra change orders or anything that's like additional work that needed to be done. And then also he'll oversee our estimator, Abram, and make sure that his estimates look good before sending them in. So we'll double check all of his commercial estimates. So we have a commercial estimator too, which is really nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
Abram's the guy that you met at church, right?
No, Abram. So Abram's my nephew. He's 18 years old.
Nice.
He just moved up here to come work for us last summer. We took him to the commercial PCA in Nashville, and he loved it so much that he's going to school for to be a pilot.
Oh, no way.
Yep. But he's like, man, I just love doing these estimates. I want to do this, I want to do this full time and also get my pilot license. And I'm like, well, let's do both. Like, I'll help you get your pilot license and let's do estimates together. And he was super excited about that. So that's his main goal. And I was actually just talking to a guy that has a plane yesterday, and I guess he has like a construction company, and he flies his plane to Aspen and Denver to look at jobs. And I was like, maybe I could make a deal with them or something and get my license.
That's pretty cool.
I think 5 years from now, that would be something that would be really nice to, once we get to that level, I mean, we're planning to get to 10 million here in a couple of years. So
big enough to be able to fly to estimates with a plane.
And it's only
that's a nice little treat there. I love that.
Well, it's only about an hour and a half away. So it's like, I think it's our next reasonable move. We thought about Utah and Moab, which is like an hour away. We're probably still going to do that, but Salt Lake is just too far. And I'll just send Spencer everything I got over there.
No, go take Spencer's jobs there, man. He doesn't need them. I'm just kidding. Spencer's going to give you shit after this.
I actually joined his Utah group, the Utah Painters Clan that he started on Facebook.
Oh yeah, are you going to the meeting? I think they're hosting it pretty soon, right?
They just had one, and I guess a lot of people went there, and actually one of the guys flew in. So that's where I got the idea. I was like, this guy's flying in. I got to fly in too.
Damn.
Maybe sometime down the road though.
That's crazy, man. And so, I mean, looking like 24 months ago, right? Before you were kind of leveling up into all this coaching, into the networking, did you ever think you'd be having conversations about flying into meetings on your own plane? Like, how cool is that to think about, dude? Like, how far you've come.
We didn't know that painting could get to this level or to higher levels. Like, we were meeting people at the PCA that were doing 10 million, 20 million, and I never heard of that. Like, we're in a smaller town of like maybe the top's 160,000 people, like with all the surrounding areas around. Like, we're not in a big city. So like, just to hear that people are able to have a team and be able to make those numbers and not have to like just be overseeing and making sure operations are going good. Like, that's impressive. I could see that for like bigger companies or like different companies, but in the painting industry, I didn't even know that was a real thing. And so once I met these people, I'm like, hey, can I have your number? Like, I need help. Like, can you teach me stuff? And they're like, yeah, sure. And like, there were so many people that were so helpful, like Juan over at Illusions. Like, I called him all the time last year.
I love that, man. I love that. Yeah, I think there is something beautiful about that. It's like when you surround yourself with people that are a lot higher than where you are, it kind of like breaks your limiting beliefs of like, well, dude, if they're doing it, why can't I do it? You know what I mean? And there's this story of like the 5-minute mile, which was like back in the day, it was like unknown for anybody to run a single mile in 5 minutes. Right. And then this one guy, I forget his name, who did it, but he broke that record for the first time in history. or recorded history. He broke that record, and then like consistently, like year after year, that record kept getting broken. Just after that, this one guy hit it, then everybody like had these limiting beliefs that snapped and was like, oh, if he did it, I could do it too. And then they just kept breaking it and breaking it and breaking it and breaking it. And it's just, I think that's so relative to like the situation that you said is like, wow, dude, I just met someone doing 10 million. Like, why the heck can't I crush that? And then now you're like, you're planning, and like the next year is like, yeah, we're going to do 10 million. You know what I mean? But like, if you didn't surround yourself, if you didn't put yourself in those new environments, like that wouldn't even be a thought.
Yeah. And like, I'm in a group, like I have so many friends from the PCA that they're all striving to get to those numbers. Like they all have plans, they have goals, they have everything mapped out. And like, since when you have something mapped out with math and numbers, like it's so much easier to see it and achieve it. It's crazy. Like it's not just like, I might make it to 10 mil. Like I have an actual plan with math, like mapped out, and it's insane. Like I know how I'm going to get there.
I love that,
like,
dude.
I'm like telling my estimator, you know, today I'm like, bro, we only hit 90K in commercial this month. Like day 11, I'm like, we have to get, you know, 110 more just to hit 2 million for the year. I was like, we got to plan ahead and make sure that we're hitting these numbers. So we set goals for each estimators. For our commercial estimator, he has a goal. My residential estimator has a goal, and they're both hitting them. They're right on track. And so we know what our numbers are going to be at minimum by the end of the year. So super nice to know that and be able to stay on top of it.
And being very specific about those too. It's like you just said, like we're only at 90, we need to be at 110 in order to pace towards the goal that we're after. You know, and it's not like a guessing of just like, I hope we hit this, you know, or at the end of the year we'll reassess. Like you break this down, like probably every week you have a specific goal that you're hitting, or how does that kind of look? Like tell me a little bit about the math.
Okay, so like my sales guy, he has to hit 200K, or residential, he has to hit 200K. My commercial guy, he's trying to go for 300, or sorry, not 200K, 2 million a year. So about 200K, because we have a couple slow months. So we're just trying to shoot higher by doing the 200K a month. So, and our residential guy, he's doing that. And then our commercial estimator, he's on track because we won some big projects in the beginning of the year. So even though he hit 90K, he's still a little bit ahead, but we're still trying to make sure that he hits those numbers. So if they both hit 200K a month, I mean, that's 4 to 5 million right there. And you know, like in the summer, we're going to hit more than that because we get so much more work in the summertime. It's crazy.
Yeah. The demand's a lot higher.
Yeah,
for sure. I love that. So what are some like of your most important relationships that you've built, and how would you recommend someone to, you know, approach the whole relationship marketing tactic that you've been implementing in order to cross that million, 2.5 million, et cetera?
Okay. So there was some relationship that we built probably 10 years ago, and it was just going in there, talking to them, asking them for a chance, asking them for a shot, and getting them over a bid. And, you know, it doesn't have to be like, it can be a lower number. Like, I think like just trying to figure out what their budget is and just making sure that, because they can get 10 other painters in there. They're not looking for you. You're looking for them. Right. So I'm like, just trying to get their budget, get your foot in the door, and then just really establishing a good relationship. Like when they call you, you show up. When they need the job done, you get it done on time. And just making sure everything goes so smoothly for them that they're not going to want to look around. And so that's what our goal is now, is to do that with every single contractor that we meet, is to give them that same service and just give them, you know, perfect service and get things done on time. And that's what really sets us apart, is that we can get to the job next week, no matter how big it is. Like if someone calls me right now and they're like, hey, like my buddy just called me, he's like, hey, can you come paint all these metal beams? And I'm like, yeah, let me come look. I'm like, when do you need it done? He's like, this weekend. I'm like, cool, no problem. And I know we can, because we have the manpower. Like we have guys that want to work all weekend and want to make money, and they want to, you know, do good for their families. So like we have guys. It's just, and everybody's always like, you're going to get to the point where you don't have enough guys. And I don't think that's possible. Cause we're constantly hiring. Like I put ads out hiring every week. And I think that's like another thing that's different about us is like, I'm always looking for the best painter and the best contractors that are painters. Like I want all of them to work with us or for us. Like I don't want to leave any of them out. Like, and if we have that many guys, there's just no way that we can't get more work. So we're always hiring, like no matter what.
And where do you usually like post those hiring? Like, is there a specific job board?
Shoot, I do on Indeed, Facebook Market. There's a lot of like, there's a lot of community groups I'll post in. And then like at the Sherwin-Williams, when I see people, I talk to them and see how they're doing and like what kind of work they do. And usually they'll be like a smaller subcontractor or a painter. And usually they're looking for a better opportunity. And, and I was looking for a better opportunity when I started my company and no one offered it to me. So here I am.
I love that, man. I love that. Are you like mainly using subs for your manpower?
No, we have mostly employees, which I really like the employee model. We get a lot of time and material jobs from commercial. And so that really helps us out. And then we do have some subs that help us on smaller projects or exteriors or something that, we need help on commercial jobs. Because what happens is we'll get a big commercial job and they need 10 guys on it right away. And it's like, we got subs. Like I could put 3 or 4 subs on there and then have 2 or 3 of my guys over there. And we got a crew of 10, 15 instantly.
Yeah.
And it's only 2 or 3 of my guys. So it's like, it makes us a lot more appealing to use because we can provide so much manpower with subs. So I do like having subs too.
So you have like a short vendor list that if you need the manpower, you kind of like, you got subs that you go to right away, plug them in, throw a couple of your guys in there more for like quality control purposes, I guess.
Yeah. On bigger projects, they'll need a couple guys to like run the job, do like make sure there's pictures coming in, and the subs are just doing the painting and trying to get it done. I mean, some subs will work 15 hours a day. I mean, they're amazing, where it's like the employees, they just want to do 8 or 9 hours and then they want to be with their family, which is cool too. Like it just depends on what you want to do.
Yeah, I love that. And what's like a low-hanging fruit relationship that you could suggest for people to go after? Is it like realtors, property managers, things like that?
We're going after realtors and property managers right now. I have my commercial estimator calling them and stopping by their office. I just got a text message from a realtor saying that she was meeting with Abram and my sales guy. So
I love that. So you get them to cold call them?
I don't like that. I feel like going in person and just like being their friend is the better idea. I think cold call, like when people call me, I hang up. Like I just, when they come to my house and I'm like, you know what, I like this guy. Like, and then they come back and I'm like, you know what, I really like this guy. I'm going to give him a shot. Like, that's what I like. I like a face-to-face and meeting people and just seeing like,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You got a good energy, man. I said that at the expo. Like when I met you at Benjamin Moore, you got like this cool energy to you, dude. It's nice. It's a good feeling for sure. But
yeah, I'm even sick. I've been sick for like a month, dude. I don't know what the heck is going on. So I'm glad that I have a good energy because I was worried about it.
Yeah. After the expo, I was dead, man. I was so dead. It's very, very taxing. I mean, I didn't even go out to the Sherwin night. A lot of our clients were giving me shit like, dude, you gotta come, you gotta come. But I didn't go because we were leaving Friday morning. And we were like, my team was just so gassed that I was like, oh, dude, we're just gonna cook some hamburgers, have some cigars, and just like chill in the last night in Florida before we go back to the freaking cold Montreal, man. So it was nice. But I heard the Sherwin event is just outrageous.
You love Florida?
You know what, man? The weather was selling itself to me big time. Like, I came back here and my skin got so like dry and itchy, and I'm just like, dude, fuck, I don't have this in Florida, So I do like Florida. I really, really do like Florida. How about you?
I was looking at houses last night, right on the beach.
And then you can take your plane there, dude. That'll be perfect.
My wife, literally, she looks up houses in Florida like every month. She's like, look at this house. Look at this house. I'm like, I I mean, the price range is really good down there, and it's right on the beach. It's insane. I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. Get that plane, and then we can make some moves.
Dude, get a float plane, land right on the water, right in front of your house. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, the house we were looking at, it's like inland a little bit.
Okay.
But there's little canals that go through off of the beach. So like every house has its own little boat dock.
Dang, that's crazy. Where in Florida was it?
Shoot, it was below. Where was it? It was below Sarasota. I can't remember what the exact town is. It was below Tampa, Sarasota. It was like down there by Fort Myers somewhere.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but we just love that. We go to Florida like 2 or 3 times a year.
Really interesting.
Yeah, you should go on vacation once. If you stayed on the beach, you would love it even more.
Yeah, I was thinking about going to Tampa. Russell Peach is trying to get me to come down to Tampa.
Go do it. Yeah, I would love to hang out with it. Are you married?
No.
Yeah, then definitely go there.
No marriage, no kids that I know of. I'm all good, man. Coast is clear. Yeah. Would you open up a second branch of Integrity down there?
I don't think so. I mean, I would help Russell out if he would hire me. I think that would be fun.
You go down there and close some jobs.
Well, I know like there's people. I mean, if I could sell my company and then move down to Florida and just work part-time for Russell, I'd totally do that. That'd be like the funnest job ever. I'd be
Russ is a cool dude. Russ is a cool guy. I'm not going to tell that to him to his face, but he's a cool guy, man.
He is so cool. And I like his strategy. Like every time I go to click on somebody's post, he's already on there. Do you notice that?
He's always, he does comment on a lot of, it's like a supportive technique. Yeah. But then he's always popping up like new, like it's always like Russell Peach. It's an interesting play. I actually really like it though.
And like if you ever need help, like if you text him or call him, he'll like tell you everything. He's like, hey, yeah, do this. This is what I do. And like he's super nice and helpful. I think that's another thing that's really important for building a big business like he has, is like just like being really nice to people and helping them out all the time. And he's good at that. Like he makes friends and remembers so many people's names. Like it's crazy. Yeah. That's a good skill. I wish I had more. I wish I was more like that. That's crazy.
Like being able to remember people's names and things.
Yeah, like he knows. Like I'll just go up and start talking to somebody, and Russell will just come out of nowhere and be like, "Oh yeah, I know that person," and start talking to him. Like, how does he know everybody?
He's a networker. That's for sure. He's definitely got a lot of reach in the industry, man. He's a good guy. So you would sell your business, and then what would you exit for? Like, what if someone like wrote a check right now, and there could be any number on it? Obviously, not like ridiculously high.
I'll never sell.
Well, really, you wouldn't?
No, what I would do though is I would get a partner and I would have them run everything, which is kind of like what we're doing right now anyway. Like we have my PM, he's moving up. We're working on getting him percentages, and then we're just gonna have him run everything. So hope nobody hears this, but I'm just kidding.
I love that, dude. That's awesome. So if you could have you ever heard of like the fishing test? The fishing test, like
what is it?
Okay, so it's this old I guess business thing. I got it from one of my colleagues, Amer, and basically what he does, it's called the fishing test of like, can you leave your business and go on a fishing trip without worrying about all the relationships burning, all the productions burning? Like, can you actually just go and not have to worry about coming back to just like a shit show? You know what I mean? Like, can you could take that like at 4.2 million, you could just dip, go to Florida for 2 weeks, no phone, nothing, come back, everything's running.
Yeah, easy. Yep. I've been practicing and I've been training, and my main guy Ryan, he's been with me for 10 years. Like he's running everything for me now. The best move I ever did was hire him as a project manager. He was a painter for me for years, and then when I was looking for a project manager, I was like, hey man, I really need your help. I can't do this anymore. It's too stressful. And he stepped up and just took over, and like, he just crushed it. And it was amazing, like how skilled he is, and like how good he is at talking, and like just communicating and training. And he's just such a hard worker. He made it so much easier for me. So for me to give him a percentage of the company and